This exercise I lovingly refer to as Superman. This is a more advanced stretch. This trains, instead of it training the introversion, that elevation, lateral rotation, protraction of the shoulder blade, we have it in the opposite hand where we come into, it's going to be the same mermaid choreography. So you're just going to have that setup of feet a little wider than shoulder width, softening the butt. I tuck the tail, I curl the sternum. I'm in my full introversion in my hoop. And for this, instead, as we go into that mermaid, we're going to start to find that left greater trochanter. I'm mirroring you guys. And we're going to then let the legs come out. Use this hand to support if you like. You're going to roll anteriorly. This shoulder is going to now not introvert like this one was. It's going to extrovert. So it's going to depress, medially rotate, and retract while we hang into that stretch. And we come back out of it. Being very careful to resist into it slightly the entire time. Feeling this coracoid lever, that coracoid process, you can kind of play with it a little bit. It's from Berthoz, B-E-R-T-H-O-Z, an exercise physiologist that would talk about perceived centers of rotation in the body. You can take that coracoid lever sort of slightly above the armpit, that little bony nub in front of the shoulder, and you can roll it up and back. So you're spiraling that whole collarbone, that whole shoulder complex. It spirals up and back. We spring load that up and back, and then we hang into this stretch. So this becomes a deep front body sternum opener that tracks across the pelvis. So I go all the way almost onto my ASIS, my anterior superior iliac spine, the little bony nub on the front of that left hip, if I'm mirroring you guys. And I tuck to come back. I come over that left greater trochanter. I come past the sacrum. You can stretch that arm out in the back body side with the mermaid coming through on this side just to give it a back body opening and a back body resisted stretch to connect that, so we're not just beating on that extroversion, because this can be a really intense stretch. So I like to alternate it with the mermaid on the same arm. Or we can switch hands and do the same thing, coming onto knees fall. We come onto right greater trochanter, shoulder spirals into extroversion as we find that stretch. And we curl and tuck, coming back, knees fall. We find left greater trochanter, tucking the tail, curling the sternum to come through the mermaid for an oppositional stretch. We tuck, we come back, knees fall. We let the legs come out as we come over the greater trochanter toward the ASIS, being really careful with this, trying to curl your sternum in a little bit in opposition, and coming back and through. Knees fall. Curling the sternum, tucking the tail, lengthening up, and coming over greater trochanter, curling the sternum, letting the coracoid lever roll in opposition. So I'm curling and tucking as I'm rolling back in opposition, getting that deep, deep, deep extroversion in that left shoulder, and I come back. I always end it with a back body sternum stretch, one arm or both arms, but usually the one arm helps me to get deeper into it. And it's important to always, after you do a deep extroversion stretch, a deep extroversion spring load, it's good to always honor that back body in full length to allow the back body to come under full tension and kind of support you and find that equilibrium in the shoulder girdle spirals.